Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. Today I'd like to call your attention to the defense's filing of June 6th, 2023, and they are now objecting to the media's setting aside of the amended non-dissemination order, and they do a good job in reminding us that there were two. There was an original non-dissemination order that Judge Marshall put into effect in January 2023, and then there was an amended one that's been in effect all of these months. That was also signed in January 2023, and that is the one, the amended non-dissemination, the amended gag order that the press has come in to Latah County, intervened in this case, Idaho versus Koberger, and are trying to convince, now it's Judge who has jurisdiction, that this amended non-dissemination order, it violates the First Amendment, it's overbroad, it should be set aside. So now we have defense coming back, and they are reminding the world that even if it's overbroad, which they don't think it is, they think it's just about right, that they want to remind the attorneys involved in the case and their associates that criminal cases are litigated in courtrooms, not in the press. And just a moment in terms of what is overbroad. Overbroad is something that's too extensive. You know, when you're talking about First Amendment cases, you see if something's overbroad. It goes too far, Judge. You know, we can't say the name Bryan Kohberger ever. That would be taking it to a ridiculous end of what an overbroad non-dissemination order states. And that, of course, is not in effect here. But he is saying, look, if it's overbroad, which we don't think it is, cases are fought. They are litigated in a court of law, not in the media. And then he gives examples of that's exactly what's been going on here. Mr. Kohberger, as we say time and time again, although he's been charged with some extremely serious crimes, that doesn't mean he's guilty. He is, in fact, presumed innocent until he either pleads guilty, he comes to some deal with the prosecution and agrees to plead guilty, or he is adjudicated guilty. He goes to trial, and a jury, after deliberation, comes back and they say, yes, we believe that you are guilty of these crimes, and the prosecution has proven this beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the evidentiary standard. So we have Mr. Logsdon, who wrote this and signed this. He's one of the defense attorneys. And he gives an example of what they continue to deal with, that although the standard is that we litigate in a courtroom, not in the press, that's sort of what's been going on here. He gives an example of a relatively then recent presentation by Dateline NBC that does a lot of true crime stories, specials, and they did one, and Mr. Logsdon advises us here that it ran May 19th, 2023, and it was entitled The Killings on King Road, and it was about this case, and it sort of set things up as though, you know, Mr. Kohberger appears to be guilty. I mean, they always, in these stories, they presumed, but if he did it, this is how he did it. These types of things is what one sees in some of these television shows. So he's just reminding the world why it's important that this amended non-dissemination order stay in effect to protect Mr. Kohberger's Sixth Amendment privilege to a fair trial in the wake of this avalanche of media coverage that appears to be largely negative for him. These are my opinions that I give under the First Amendment, as always. My name is Kathy. Thanks for joining us today here at the Indie Zone.